Welcome to WEGeniusMinds podcast, coming to you from the future in the midst of these crucial times of change. I am Paulina Amador, your host, director, and producer of the groundbreaking documentary, Evolution, the Genius Equation. I invite you to watch my film at our website, WEGeniusMinds.com. This series expands on the brilliant interviews I conducted with some of the most revolutionary scientists and best-selling authors of our time. Today's podcast is with world-renowned master teacher Ramtha. His Academy of the Mind, Ramtha School of Enlightenment, was established in 1988. To date, his teachings of ancient wisdom and extraordinary knowledge have been attended by more than 100,000 people worldwide. In this second episode, Ramtha reveals that the Elixir of Life does exist, unveiling how it grants us immortality and its ultimate discovery by renowned alchemists Perenelle and Nicholas Flamel. What you said ignited a question about Perenelle Flamel. In my understanding, you have to have a true passion, and if you do, then you evolve towards immortality. She is an outrageous alchemist, and I am very curious to know and learn more about her passion to find everlasting life.
Along with her husband, but she did not know that's what it would be. And the husbandman didn't know it. He just had stumbled on an old manuscript that was slated for the Jews to be able to make gold in secret so that they could tender their worries. Well, nothing is an accident. We can make artifacts so easy because we can go back in time and bury them ourselves. Don't you find it rather wonderful that you see helicopters on the interest of helicopters? Don't you think it's quite wonderful you're discovering all these scripts and these stones and, something wonderful is happening? Well, it is. We are the culprits. In other words, we're uncovering what was buried. So, it's not an accident that this book lingered for 12 years unread. He just happened to pick it up, and it was just meant just for him. So, he's a clever man. He finds a cipher in Italy who ciphers it for him, and then he gets all the information. And they're poor, poor people who help orphans and widows. And just want to help people. And so they're all passionate because alchemy wasn't considered the fraud that it is today. Because without alchemy, you would not even have the Persian scientists you have today. And so, what was so wonderful about it? They were both on fire to see it through, so happy, so accepting, so secret. And she cooked it, and he gathered the things, and they made all of this wonderful money, and they built cemeteries, and they took care of orphans and widows, and did a lot of things. But they kept it quiet until the king found out about them. So they did the last thing. They burnt the gold, burning it, and its ash snow white. And they ate it and disappeared. He got her out first, and then he followed. And they're still alive today. So what can I say about this modest and assuming wife? She just loved her husband. They had such a happy life with no children. That's why they supported all the other children. And together as a partnership, male, female, made a great discovery again. So does the white gold exist? Yes. But unless you have a pure mind, you will never be able to use it. You'll never be able to find it. Only comes to someone like the Flamels.
Would you send me a runner to help me unravel the mystery of such a journey? And where are they now?
You want to know their private business? You kind of do. Let us just say that they are alive and well. And when last seen they were in Turkey, I doubt that they are there any longer. let it happen to you because you were worthy of it. Do you understand? No, but do you understand? So be that. So a person manifests their card on the field. And what is the jubilance that they did it? It was a worthy prize of a commitment. Same with all disciplines here. And the more you accept them, the more prizes you get. Next.
JC introduced a beautiful story to us 2 days ago about Melusina. She expressed that she was the goddess of the lake and that she endowed her lineage with all of her godly qualities, all the way to Elizabeth I. I would like to know more about Melusina's qualities and how they allowed Elizabeth I to become such a powerful, sovereign leader. What can we learn from these godly traits?
First, this should pursue to know the story. Some say it's a tale. It is not. Do you believe in the Lady of the Lake with Arthur? So, do you believe in other water goddesses? Is that all rumor? Superstition? So there must be somewhere a group of beings whose spirit allows them to live in water comfortably and beautifully and on land. Why should a thing not exist? In this lovely, beautiful story, it was a virgin, and he begged her guardian to know men, and so she was allowed. And then when she broke a promise to him, then he said, now you must do this. You must continue to be a creature of the water. So you must pay your dues. You must do your disciplines. And indeed, so once in a cycle of time, she grew back half a body as a fish. Beautiful silver thing. Well, don't you believe in mermaids, after all, really? This beautiful creature agreed and soon was bathing in a mystical forest. Call it mystical because it was a dimensional forest set amongst a real forest. That a traveler of whom she had her eyes on couldn't help but come in and saw her bathing in this fountain. And she fell in love with this man. And she said, I will marry you, but you must give me this one time in all these times that you cannot see me. And he agreed until he broke his promise. And he discovered she had a tail. I dare say they repaired the relationship after that. Because if you love something, do you love it only because of the way it looks or because of the way it is? You love me?
I do.
But you have never seen me. So do you love what you have never seen?
Yes.
Yeshua ben Joseph said a wise statement. He said, blessed are those who believe and have never seen. Blessed, there are many blessings. There are many, many cultures of the expression of life, making known the unknown. There have always been transnature, where a human can cross over, become half a horse or half of something or other, whatever. That's always possible. It's easy done with genetics. Easy. So does this beautiful goddess still live? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So to her offspring from her marriage, all the females had the goddess gene. And all of them could foresee, as all women can, and all men can. Women are closer to passion of life because they are connected psychically with their children. So they are always intuitives. And indeed, they are always seers because they are closer to that nature. Why wouldn't they be close to the nature of a goddess who only, if you're at the top of the stairs and in another dimension, can see frontwards and backwards in this time span? Truly, it's all a true story because there is no explanation other than how the Tudor kingdom died out so quickly. Couldn't produce a male heir, and it died out with women. Plantagenets are all mystical beings because they're all of the Fisher King. Think of what I just said to you, Fisher King. Know you anything about Plantagenets? No, you don't. It would be wise that you'd learn. The Fisher King came out of the sea, just to refresh your memory. So now, is the story riveting? Yes. Are curses real? Yes. Are spells real? Yes. What? Well, what is the difference in casting a spell and casting your card on the fence? Why is there a difference? It's the same thing, and you just associate it, as all people were taught to, as evil sorcery, but it's magic. And in fact, observing the quantum world, the intense focus, get your card on the field, get your arrow in the target, takes you straight to the void, and gives you scenes in a mirror. Always had it, or just been taught to be afraid of it. This is a true story. And you don't want to ever upset someone who has the great balance of focus. You will learn that masters you can upset, but not really. Because they see that karma always comes back to the doer. You see? So be it.
What about the evolution of women now? Why did you choose to channel through a female body, specifically your beloved channel, JC? As women, we are beginning to express our true nature. It seems it is our time to implement all that you have beautifully expressed and taught us, to finally stand up for ourselves and for men and women to move forward in their evolution from wherever they may currently be.
So why now? Why not now? My channel has been a legendary, outspoken being. It is past the great generation of the 60s that women got rid of the girdles and corsets and made love. They got out of sin and jumped into happy freedom, crazy. The liberation of women and men to accept women that way and for women to accept men as their way really started a chain reaction of free expression, chosen simply by the daughters and sons of the greatest generation. Didn't want war anymore. Just didn't. And were unafraid to have a voice to power, where the power was the family, the church, government, warlords. They just said enough, and they all felt it at once. From that, then is followed, of course, the downfall with excessive drugs and artificial substances that ruin the brain and body. That is always here is the high and this is the low. And there are others that follow the wind on that high. There's others who just grew old and had nothing in life, not even self-respect. Horrid loss, as it were. And then it went to the reverse, the strict anti-culture of that. And so then you started to see an artificial intelligence being worked on humanity where everyone had to think the same way. And then you got to see who's working behind the green curtain to form the opinions of men and women in culture that made them easily to be controlled. Women have to have equality in a controlled culture. Otherwise, they become the weakest link in the program. So if you oust one group in a culture formation of how people should think, indeed, what they should do, indeed, what they should wear, how they should talk, then you produce this generation that they all sounded like robots. That then had to have had women equal, because if women were suppressed under the new regime, they would rebel. So it was freedom for all, but this is how you must be. Yes, you are liberated. Yes, you are intelligent. Yes, you are equal. But then we find a bunch of weak women crying out for nonsense. You're not liberated. You cannot be liberated because it is the wrong missive. The right missive is to be yourself and ask your own self, what think you? And do you dare have your own mind? And have you even reasoned out an idiocracy of a statement that cast all people in judgment? When you become your own person, all the things that marginalized one, that they thought they had to fight against, the false scenarios, fight against civil rights. Well, everybody has rights. Fight against this, march against that, hate. This is hell. It's when you wake up. You know, a Monica, the word Enlightenment, Monica, yeah? Everyone's deceived and they think they're living in an enlightened age. Now, they had just become artificial intelligence with a heartfelt agenda. So, to men and women, ask yourself, in quiet of your garden, what do you really think about what you're saying? Where does the hate come from? Is it truly in you? Or is it that which you have accepted? So, my appearance coincided with the lifetime of my channel, expressing herself in all of the natural and unnatural ways of society, and passed all the tests to keep moving. She passed all of them. When you ask God for help, you should listen. You know, however the runner comes. And if the runner is calling you to go forward, you should go forward and not argue with the source. I said, well, and so this brought us together. Very powerful young woman, lovely but independent, fiercely so. And independent allowed her to dream her own dreams, imagine her own imaginations, to be able to see and ask herself what she saw, not others. And that allowed me to appear because I was accepted, and she didn't do that right away. She thought I was the devil. So we did find the last remnants of the sorted reality. Quickly changed. So I had to have a woman for a greater purpose. Loves God. When you love God, you created this. Do with it as you will. But to an unenlightened person, or one who thinks they're enlightened, either she gave her body to possession, to a demon, because society doesn't even care about all the tests she went through, like a lab rat. They don't want to know because it does not fit a gender, you see? So now, are you powerful enough to live against that force? She has been all these years and is not afraid to assert her own power at all. Now, allow me to come because she doesn't hate men. You see, when you grow up, you don't hate people. Finally understand people because you have understood yourself, as it were. She doesn't hate men. She doesn't see herself in competition with women or men. Now that is a mature state of well-beingness of mind, critical for genius. Letting go of yourself and trusting, dying and trusting you'll be home in time to make foodstuffs for your children returning from their lessons. That's powerful. You can do anything with my body, but you can never touch me. That's her motto. So she gets to go to all the places she loves because she's earned it. I just want you to remember, and all of your fine ladies who watch this, you're wrong if you think you were suppressed. It was you who suppressed you. And you are in an error if you find your fellow man trying to harass and suppress you. That is your dream reality. We're all gods. Remember, the Holy Spirit is no sexuality. It's neither male or female, but both. God is to know itself. And if space is unlimited, the void unlimited, with unlimited galaxies and gaseous clouds forming and great stars being born, is there ever an end to our discovery? It's God knowing itself through you, making known the unknown. What is unknown to you? What was the greatest moment that you got it? When you realized you had bought your own superficial division. And that became the reality. You wanted to celebrate women. Celebrate God. You'll get a lot further if you do. Do you understand better?
I do.
It's attractive to make it about women. But the message I have said to them is much more attractive.
Thank you, Ramtha. Wow, that brings us to the outstanding conclusion of our exceptional conversation with Ramtha the Enlightened One. Imagine the vast knowledge and wisdom he has provided about the latest discoveries in quantum physics and the extraordinary abilities of the mind. Ramtha School of Enlightenment offers workshops worldwide. For more information, please visit ramtha.com. To our WEGeniusMinds podcast listeners, we hope to have inspired you. Stay tuned for our next podcast and don't miss our groundbreaking film, Evolution, the Genius Equation, at our website, WEGeniusMinds.com. Thank you for joining us.